But now, how do we execute it? Like a small team at a startup, how do we execute this rapidly? And this is where, and just before we start, I want to add that rapid testing and scaling is not just about going aggressive on the consumer. You don't want to show 100 ads to people just for the sake of it. But now that we have defined our ICP and built a process of enriching it and feeding it back to the platform, we want to go and execute in a way that builds trust with the customer. And this is where I think AI can also become your hyper personalized engine of creating ads and ads that talk directly to your customer. So what if your growth theme was, so like, think about it, like right now, what is the biggest limitation a company has of testing it out? You all have ideas. I truly believe like we all have some creative element in us. It's just that we don't have big enough team, big enough budget to execute it, go and do it. And that's why the bigger players eat our entire ad assets, So what if like you could build, you weren't limited by your budget and by how fast your team can create your compelling ads? I mean, we're calling it a persuasion engine. There's a fancy word of saying it. It's just building resonance and trust with your end customer. When you can rapidly test and scale your messaging, you can deliver a very hyper relevant ad to a very specific persona. And that is the entire crux of what we are trying to do, trying to establish on this webinar. And that is where the entire AI powered, performance marketing is moving. So that relevance that you show to the customer, the end customer, it proves to them that you understand their problem. Right now, the ads that we see, they don't talk to me like in B2B. They talk to every person who could be using that software. But do they know my pain point? Does that company know exactly where am I failing? So that campaign that I talked about, where we are targeting those CXOs using their personal Gmail IDs, the creatives that we have are so specific right now. Like we have figured out exactly what that person would be, his entire day would look like, and what is that exact problem he has in that day. That if this ad came up in front of him, he would say, okay, I really need this. So, and that kind of scaling and that kind of personalization at scale is what AI can give you. So it allows you to execute it at speed and build a trust with your audience. So I think we don't have enough time to give you a demo of how this would be done, but I would really show like today, like, let me show, like Canva has their entire plugin built inside ChatGPT, where you can talk directly to your Canva from ChatGPT. You can build a N8N automation where every row of your sheet can be read by ChatGPT, and a Canva image can be created for every sheet with the right prompt. So that's the level of personalization we have gone to. I mean, I don't know how many of you are using it. If you're using it, like, kudos to you, but I have met people who don't even know that Canva exists inside ChatGPT. Or Claude has this MCP server defined for Canva. Sorry, Canva has a MCP server defined for Claude. And you just have to connect it, single button. You connect it, you're logged into a Canva account, and even Claude goes one step further. It creates 4 versions of every prompt that you give. It gives you 4 different versions of the ad. It asks you which one is suiting best for you, and it automatically populates your Canva project. And today I am using it to scale my ads, and I want to tell you, like, go ahead and test it out if you're not already doing it. This will be very good. But why I didn't start with this? Because all of this is useless if you don't have the data, the ICP, the predictive audience, and all of those built in. And then you have the firepower to create ads using Canva and this is just one example I'm giving. And this is the basic bare bone structure. There are tools today which can create like a lot of tools in AI social media automation that you can find. But even in this, you can get a lot more creative. If you have even skills around automation using make.com or Zapier, your entire sheet can become your powerhouse for creative generation. And that is only applicable when you have the right data with you. So this brings us to the final slide, I think, which was my first slide of like we now know how to create better lists and understand a better audience. We know how this list can be used to create better predictive audience, and it's easier said than done. You have to do a lot of dirty work inside your CRM, inside your Excel sheets to go to this final cohort or list. And once you have that, you can leverage this data and AI to scale ads like never before, like even with a very small team and budget. And this is where our slide ends. And this is a very high level view of the evolving AI powered engine that I'm seeing right now, using right now, and deploying. And I hope it provides you also with a clear path of what you can go and test tomorrow from this webinar. And I would like to say, like, this might look tedious in some parts. Like, I have to now go and look into my entire data, and then I have to create reports, and then I have to build audiences. But I'll tell you this: like, AI, in the age of AI, like, data is your superpower. Like, and you can truly beat a bigger competition today in performance marketing, even with a smaller budget, if you have all of these checklists ticked off. And then, yeah, and you can test it at a very rapid velocity, as I said.